Hey, what's up, Internet? This is a updated review from the Supcase. This is the heavy-duty model. It goes for about $19 to $20 on Amazon. Overall, I'm really happy with the case, but I want to share with you some information now that I've owned it since November of last year, and now we're going into June. So I've owned it for about 8 months, and I would say that ideally you probably want to replace this every 6 months. I just bought a new one because this screen on the front here, I'm going to shine a light on it so you can see it, but it has a lot of scratches on it. This little screen right here. Here, now you can see it. A lot of scratches. And when you turn it on, especially at low light or if you're in the sun, I have it on the lowest light settings on the Nexus 6 here, but it's very dim. Like I have to put up my brightness quite a bit, especially in the sunlight, because there's so many scratches. So this case is amazing protection wise, but this is the same issue you're going to get with an OtterBox or any of these high-end cases that have the built-in screen protector, uh, especially ones that are built in. You can get the ones where you just put it on with a credit card, but they're not as good in my opinion. This really protects the phone, but at the same time, once this thing scratches up, I really haven't found a good way to get rid of the scratches. Um, the case itself is great. The outside here, this rubber really does help a lot. The rubber around the outside, because I've dropped this phone a couple dozen times, and you can see that even when it hits this hard plastic on the back, it barely scratched. And because of this rubber, it really absorbs the momentum that while this thing is falling, the shock. So the phone itself doesn't get rattled around in there, and you don't get dents on the phone either. I'm going to take this out of the case in a second. The only other thing I notice is the power thing is getting a little loose, but even then it still holds in there. I'm sorry, there you go. It still holds in there. When you push it in, it holds in. Where my otter boxes in the past, these things often will come off. So really good quality on these little tabs. This one's a little pain. I mean, I've used a lot of auxiliary cables. The majority of them fit in here, but it is a little longer of a reach. Just a little FYI on that, but that wasn't an issue. My biggest issue with this is this thing getting all scratched up, and that about every 6 to 7 months you're going to have to replace that. So for $20 though, divided by 6, the cost on that per month is under $2 to protect your phone. And let's see what the phone looks like. So here you have the phone. Not a single scratch. You get a little bit of grime that gets through the little opening on the case here for the speaker and the camera. But I mean that's totally fine. Same thing with the bottom speaker. There's a little bit of grime under there, but I could even clean that out. I mean, look at the back of this. I mean, there's no scratches at all on this phone. This phone is in almost perfect condition. And I've owned this phone since November. And as you can see, it's doing really well. A little bit of wear where I plug in the phone every time to charge it, but that's not much. So overall, great case. Downsides are this, and it's scratching. Let's see. Can you see it now? Yeah, look at that. You can see all that grime. This, and I've tried using like scratch remover for cars and for headlights to see if maybe that plastic, and I mean, it helps a little bit, dense scratches. And so you can see that it's kind of glued onto here. Maybe somebody could educate me and let me know that you could just buy this little plastic piece right here and glue one back in. I mean, that would be great. That would be another option, and I think that would save you a lot of money as well if you just got this one piece and were able to glue it back in. Great case, really saves your phone. It works great. When you're using this, you can still feel the phone and it operates perfectly. Big downsides are just that this thing scratches, and you're going to have to replace it about every 6 months with normal use. But otherwise, I'd say it's a really good investment as far as protecting the phone.